is their business, whether they like it or not. You know what I mean? Gang, 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 gang. Well, let's play my little intro tune, like as I do. Come on in, people. Come on in, family. Come on in. We got some info to break down today. The usual. It's a little discussion. You know what I mean? No pastor. Just a discussion among us people. I mean, where we are allowed to be unapologetically black, speak our mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's play my little intro song. So I want everyone to support this track. You know what it is. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'd just welcome, say big grand rising to Black Spice and Terry Riggs in the building.
Yes, Mr.
You know, we'll have a little discussion today amongst ourselves. Just a little discussion. Some topics that don't get put up a lot. Yeah.
We're talking about black and we're talking about black embetterment in the past.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let me play this song quickly, then we'll get into the discussion in a bit. Yeah, come on in, family. Let me just get myself sorted out as well. The YouTube comments.
Hey, listen. Yo. We used to be some warriors, brothers just looking weak now. Police brutality on the youngest, they're knocking teeth out. Feeling revolution, there's nothing.
Man like Ultra Funky in the building. Man like Sound Nature in the building. Man like Gazama in the building. Boom, boom, boom.
When it comes to real ops, never back. Killing your own kind is a gang. When it comes to real ops, never back. Killing your own kind is a gang. And you just pull out your phone, I know you're pussy. Put a burner to officers dome. A roast cookie, it could be his first day on the job. I've got rookies, ain't grip.
Come on in, family. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Some Sunday morning. We're going to break down some stuff. We're going to break down some information lightheartedly. Share the link, family. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Man like Sniper in the building. Gang, 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 gang. Man like Zulu in the building. Gang, 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 gang. Early morning. Welcome to my black family. That's what I'm talking about. All love.
You saying I ain't black? You saying I ain't black, yeah?
Man like Big, I didn't see you there, my family.
Can I say I'm not black, yeah? Yeah. I say that, man.
I didn't see you there, my G.
Can't step man for Shahid.
Family.
We say family.
You say sis.
Yeah.
Bless up, bless up.
We got my Totty family in the house. North, south, east, and west. Get me? I know.
God no.
God no. That's why we call this the Adjustment Bureau. We're here to adjust the minds of our brothers and sisters who are lost. Zulu. Yeah. The Adjustment Bureau out here.
No, I got to have Zulu back yesterday. He was all right still. In a respect thing. I respect that. You put a little fire.
Diesel.
You put a fire on Lioness Lean. Get that fire a little bit from
Oh, word, really? I missed that then.
Yeah, they tried to go in on Becky, but
Today, we're talking about empowerment, black empowerment.
Come on in, family. We're about to break down some stuff. And has anyone seen the photo I posted in the back chat? Zulu.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Proper
I've seen the photo I posted in the back chat.
Yeah, it's fake.
It's a fake.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Still hot.
No need to talk about the
shit that we still got.
Still got my brothers in the
Seal box.
Grieve for the youngest getting killed off. We ain't been diseased by the ill cops. Real
Come
Jesus
on.
with the real
Ops, what?
for your brother, man, your auntie. Pigs coming, man, are dancing like a shanty.
Ashanti.
Bad breed.
You but me. Yeah, we want peace.
But we still got the peace if they want peace. Squash the peace, squash peace. We made them ops flee. Used to be some warriors, brothers just looking
Wait now.
police brutality.
I'm just gonna go into this one more tune, then we're gonna get into some discussion.
I won't see my people murdered. Tell missionaries will rise to burn it. Pagans enslaved us, rapists and hurt us. The picture of white flags is all like the worship. The pastors to what? Church will be serving. He's just a hustler making it earnest. Can't act me like a clown in a circus. Make false preachers start to get nervous. Fire. I can vibe with a Christ-like person. Cause there was a time when the chief was eternally rolled in the temple and disturbed the service. Like let's chase these Pharisees out of the churches. King James said he gave you a version. White as snow, have you singing them verses? They had the Bible, we had the land, but they had the land at the end of the sermon. But Adam was black, Samson was black, Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah was black. The Muslims will tell you that Moses was black, Solomon's black, so was his dad. Jesus hid from Caesar in Egypt. If he wasn't colored, how did he do that? How? Most of these people won't leave their white Jesus because they be like fiends that's addicted to crack.
Jeez.
Like ones that is burned in the furnace, don't take it from me because the scripture says that. Take bad man for fool, his hair was like, oh, Jesus they speak of, he looked like a rat. But there was no J, it was Yeshua. The oldest Bible is in Africa. If you think that my hair is natty, just know that his hair was natty. Facts. If you disagree, then debate. Watch me destroy every challenge around there. The real Sabbath was on Saturday. Facts. Pagans, they messed up their calendar. Living in modern day Babylon. Wrestling and Bana and the Vatican. They tried to degrade all our women. Why? Enough of them, boy, they are Batman.
Batman.
System of battling now. Sodom Gomorrah is happening. Fake Catholics, gay marriages. Don't do with that, I'm an African fire. Saying God is a he, but can't be a she to a woman is damaging.
Jeez.
Father creator, the great mother nature, I'm bringing the balance in balance. They will know about Delilah, yeah. What about the Queen of Sheba? True. Naomi, Ruth, and Esther, trust me. All of them women were leaders, fact. We all have fleshly desires, but I know that knowledge is priceless. True. We are not sinners, we're righteous. Tell them. Made in the image and likeness, fact. The most high spirits inside us. That's why the wicked they fight us. Slingshot head top for a giant, man. David defeating Goliath. Solomon call me the wisest. Daniel in the den with the lions. I'm like Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. We will not burn in the fires. Jonah in the belly of the whale. I'm like Job when it really got harsh. Joseph in the multicolored coat. Or Noah when he built that ark. Priest Melchizedek and Enoch. Abraham when he let them seeds off. I'm like Moses sending locusts. They ain't got the powers that we got. We're all children of God, so doesn't that make us family? But they want to judge my lot. Some churches are worship vanity. My body's a temple, Christ like people don't battle me. I ain't got no problem with you. I'm just trying to run out the Pharisees. African Christianity, what? Save Islam from Arab savagery. My Akis know who the Nagashi be. Same bloodline as his imperial majesty. Same bloodline as Solomon and David. From long time found the bloodline saviors. We've been doing this thing since ages. Every day we give thanks and praises. Never spoke to the angel Gabriel, but I do connect with the ancient. That's why I got a shooter for Judas. They told me I could deal with the trade. Call me John the Baptist. The way I'll be wetting up guys. The law was fulfilled, not changed. So why are they eating swine? I would have told Mary it's gonna be alright. No woman, no cry. The Romans come round here, all of my G's will ride. Look, I'm the disciple, rolling with rifles, won't turn my cheek, I'll just flip down the guy. I'll be like Peter,
Jeez.
Jesus, if you can't hear, then your air gets sliced. Tooth for a tooth and an eye.
Eye for an eye.
Can't fool me with your pie in the sky. They're so sure they go into heaven, still none of them want die.
Look.
I'm the disciple, rolling with rifles, won't turn my cheek, I'll just flip down the guy.
What?
I'll be like Peter, defending Jesus, if you can't hear, then your air gets sliced.
What?
Tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. Can't fool me with your pie in the sky.
What?
They're so sure they're going to heaven, still none of them.
Come on.
Why?
Jeez. Hadith our respect. Yeah, Sahi Hadith there. Man, get that.
Sure, see.
That was
Rasta man Hadith there.
Hadith there at the end. Yeah, welcome, family. Big
Yes.
in the building. Black Spice in the building. My like Norman Sniper in the building. Terry in the building, Zulu in the building, Ultra Funky, listen in the building. Yes.
Yes. I just want a quick plug. Yeah, Beefy.
Yeah, go on, Bram. Go on.
Yeah. The quick plug before we go into what we're going to talk about. Yeah, I just want to say that next weekend on the 16th of February, between 12 and 5, if you've got any of your sons that want to join the Manhood Academy, they're doing a graduation and they're doing an open night for anyone to able to get themselves involved with the Manhood Academy. And that is in West London at 10 Board Road, W10 6TP. It's opposite the Latimer train station, the Central Line, Circle Line, and Hammersmith and City Line. So if you want to get involved, get yourself over there on the 16th between 12 and 5 o'clock on Saturday. It's going to be great because we're having loads of people, and not only that, you're able to network with a lot of people behind the scenes, not always in the front, but behind the scenes. So in that perspective, we're going back into time. But we're talking about black empowerment and who the movers and who was doing what in the past. Yeah. Pure academia, economics, and we're not talking about what's in the book. We're talking about the people outside the book. What were they doing? How were they moving? What teams were they joining?
Character, moral principles.
Look, I'm just gonna share my screen. I put a picture in the back chat, and Zulu asked if Zulu saw it, and he said Zulu said it was fake. So I just want to make sure I'm gonna share this information with people. Let's see what everyone says. One second. Anyone see my screen?
Yeah, I see Kelly, two pedophiles.
Yeah. So this is me surprised that we'll be talking. Like for me, I don't care too much about the book per se. I care about the people who wrote the book, who compiled it.
You didn't write the book, first of all.
Hey, Zulu, please, mind have some manners, yeah?
Okay.
Put down, have some manners. Today, I'm in the mood today.
Okay.
You have some manners, yeah?
All right.
Okay? Swear down. I'm in the mood today. Yeah. So, I've been trying to find out like who wrote that Africa. I never got no info the other day. We don't find out who wrote that Africa. We know the info inside. We know the stories inside. But when we get down to pinpointing who wrote this and that, we never get to find out who it was. So, but then we got this character called King James, who wrote the Bible, which is the most famous book in the world today, which most people read today. So I want to find out, like, when King James was writing this Bible, what was he doing? Who was King James? What was he up to? Who were his friends? You know what I mean? Then that's the type of information we need to be getting out there so people can see for themselves the characters we're dealing with. You know, what was happening at the time of King James and all these type of things. For me, the book is just a book. Information, how anyone could put the information there. But who put the information in those books? Who was writing those books? You know what I mean? So this is very, very important for me. Very, very important. Because I know as an African, yeah, we never had no book in Africa until the European came there. Unless someone tell me something different, please show me African book. Yeah. So we're going to bring out some information about who King James was, the time of King James, what was happening at the time of King James when the Bible was being written and corrupted. Where did the Bible come from? Who was the Council of Nicaea? Who was there? Who was looking for?
And Beefy, just to put it into perspective, we're talking about book, no tablets or no other thing that was put on a piece of paper. We're talking about compiling a book. Who are the people that compiled the book together?
Who commissioned it? Who put this? Yeah. So, anyway, Zulu, since you're eager to open your mouth, what do you want to say?
Whoa, you're right.
No, you were cutting me off when I started talking. So now you tend to talk then, isn't it?
Damn. You must have had a bad day.
No, bro, don't play these games. When I was talking, you were cutting me up. Now I'm saying it's your turn to talk. What do you want to say? Talk.
You say we got the Zimbabwe barbecue on today, B.
Bro,
Trust
man's
me.
Yeah, I'm
pissed,
saying,
you
bro,
know.
no, because
All
finish it.
right.
Let's say
Damn.
someone wants to talk. You want to cut someone up.
Yo,
But we
earlier
get
you're like, yo, Zilly in the building. Now you're like, talk.
yeah, but you were cutting me up when I was talking. Now
Okay,
you can talk now, innit?
let's not go down that road.
No,
Yeah,
no,
man. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
no.
okay, let's look
I
at
want to I'll lay the premise already. So when someone is talking, don't cut them off when you shit to say, innit? It's annoying.
Damn.
Okay, does anyone on the panel know who King James is?
Who, the Scottish king?
Yeah,
What else was he?
well, he was king of England and Scotland. I think he was the king of England and Scotland.
And how did he bring the King of Scotland and the King of England together? Does anyone know?
I don't know. Did he defeat someone?
I think was it the Stuarts? Was it the Stuarts and the
Tudors.
Battle of the Roses?
He brought
Isn't it?
two families.
Tudors and Stuarts.
He brought the Tudors and the Stuarts.
Yeah, the Battle of the Roses.
Okay, so let's look at it in the perspective. Who was King James' mother?
I'm not sure. Who is it?
Someone research. Someone bring it up on Google. Who's Queen?
Now
James?
you, but Terry, man, you know the answer, man. Come
I know,
show,
but
man.
you know what it is.
Come
we
on,
need
gang.
we need to show.
Show me, Terry. Show me.
I got my computer today. I got a computer loaded. Don't worry. We're gonna bring Google up. King James.
Is Mary Queen of Scots?
Yeah,
Right.
because we're gonna go there.
So who was his father as well then?
We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there in a minute. So
Right.
we first deal with his mother, who his mother was, because there's a film out there right now that's showing.
Yo, hold on a sec. Raspet wants the link. Beefy.
Yeah, it's added already.
You added in the chat already, pass. Ras, sorry.
Yeah, let me check. Let me double check. Yeah, Respect Official. No, Respect Official. Let me get the Respect Rebellion up there.
Yeah, put Rebellion on.
Yeah. Can you add him bigger?
You want me to add him, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, carry on, Terry, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Zulu, who ain't giving my hangout to, bruv? Zulu. Okay, then 1 second. Then when you can see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. James the fourth and the first James Charles Stewart, 19th of June 1566 to 27th of March 1625, was King of Scotland as James the Fourth from 24th of July 1567, and King of England and Ireland as James the First from the union of the Scottish and English crowns on 24th of March 1603 until his death in 1625.
Okay, I want you to deal with his mother first.
Mary, the Queen of Scots.
Yeah, so pull that up for us, please.
Yeah.
Who is she?
Okay. Mary, Queen of Scots, 8th of December 1542 to 8th of February 1587, known as Mary Stuart.
Correct.
Or Mary the First of Scotland, reigned over Scotland from 14th of December 1524 to 24th of July 1567. Mary, the only surviving legitimate child of James V, was 6 days old when her father died and she ascended to the throne. She spent most of her childhood in France, while Scotland was ruled by regents. And in 1558, she married the Dauphin of France, Francis. He ascended the French throne as King Francis II in 1559, and Mary briefly became Queen Consort of France until his death.
And who's Queen of Scots' sister?
It doesn't say here.
If you go down, if you scroll down, you see siblings, and you see on the right hand side, you must be able to see siblings.
Yeah,
it'll tell you who father and who sister is.
Let's go down. Family tree.
Go to the family tree.
Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You got James II of Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
James. Yeah, there you go.
So Scotland.
Yeah.
And is that her tree?
Well, yeah.
No, we're looking at Queen Mary. Mary, as in.
Yeah, her father.
Yeah.
Her mother was Mary of Guise, and James V of Scotland was her father.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And on the other side, what is it? Where do you see the
Okay, let me find out the siblings. Let me get the siblings. This family tree not. Queen of Scots, 8th of December 15. Mr. Mike, whoever's coming on YouTube, sorry. Let me find out.
I swear her sister was her older sister was Margaret Tudor.
Well, you sure it wasn't Elizabeth?
Hold on.
Queen of Scotland, her father died.
Henry VIII.
Let me go back. Let me go. Go on. We'll find the info. Don't worry. Come on.
No, because what it is that we want to identify the lineage, so we understand, so that before we can actually go into the business aspect of things, because before we have to understand why did King James get his position, and why he able to do what he needed to do.
But from what I'm reading here, it said Mary was born 8th of December 1504 in Lincoln Palace, Scotland, to King James V and his French wife Mary of Guise. She was said to have been born prematurely and was the only legitimate child of James to survive him.
Because
she was a great niece of King Henry VIII of Scotland, of England, and her paternal grandmother Margaret Tudor was Henry's VIII's sister. On 6 years after her birth, she became Queen of Scotland. Her father died perhaps from the effects of a nervous collapse following the Battle of Solway Moss.
Mary and Elizabeth were cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sisters.
No, cousins. Yeah, I know that.
Cousins.
Okay, yeah.
But
I just want to say the African, the Orthodox Bible and the Christians are free from this class.
Yes, that's
They're 800 years older than King James and all of that. No council, and they walked out of the Council of Nicaea. You get me?
Yeah.
The Ethiopians, the Egyptians, the Russians, they all walked out.
But this is why we're trying to clarify that King James. We're trying to clean out and weed out, but we're looking in the business aspects of it, understanding what they were doing at that precise time, and why they were doing what they were doing.
No, I think it's an interesting conversation, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
big up Rustler TV, big up the man them. I was looking to, just when I went to roll over to you man last night, you man locked off, you get me?
Yeah, we had a good convo yesterday about a little bit about the Black Panthers and like the liberation struggle in the 50s in America.
I wanted to catch it because I got caught up in something. I forgot what I got caught up in, but I got caught up in some pasta or something.
Yeah. Hey, Ras.
Yeah.
There's some more pasta going on still.
What pasta?
Hey, what's the name? I wasn't even there yesterday still, man, but someone must have said they can't see Jedi in the dark or something, and then Betty's doing a show about it and made a song about it and all sorts. So
yeah, made that melanated song for Jedi, innit? Yeah. Oh yeah. I see it still. Yeah, obviously it wasn't too deep, but I feel like everyone kind of took it more deep than it was. All it was is she said a statement. The sisters felt some type of way. They tried to talk to her and she ducked out. And then the man them came in man's blazing. Huh? Say that again?
No, I was talking to my son.
Oh yeah. And she ducked. She didn't answer them. She ducked out, and then obviously Maku came in guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? And then Jedi clarified, but the sisters, it wasn't about how Jedi felt about it. You know what I'm saying? They were just saying in general that sort of joke was a bit distasteful for them personally. You know what I'm saying? Which I understood, and I felt like they should have had the right to articulate that. You get me? Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, lucky Nynefa wasn't there still, because that's when you really had something to complain about.
Yeah, big up, family. Big up.
Wait, rice and peas today. She might go in it.
Yeah, rice and peas.
Big up, big up, big up.
So
yeah.
Go into Queen Elizabeth I.
Queen Elizabeth I. Okay, let's go into that.
Yeah, it speaks for King James, man.
Yo, what about King James's pops though? Are you gonna do that after?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. I just want to quickly differentiate the cousins, and then we're gonna go to the father, and then we're gonna go into what we call the Virginia Company.
Okay.
Margaret Tudor and Queen Elizabeth were cousins.
And what was their conflict?
Hold on. Voila, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Let's go back to
Was it the old Catholic Protestant beef?
Yep.
Yeah, Catholic Protestant.
One side of them's Catholic, one side of them's Protestant.
Yeah. Mary was Catholic, Elizabeth Protestant. Mary actually tried to claim the throne as the legitimate Queen of England as well as Scotland. And she was actually backed by a lot of English Catholics at the time, I think. Maybe I'll get it wrong.
Great granddaughter of Henry VIII.
Can you see my screen?
No.
I ain't even looking to be found, but yeah.
It's not shared, cuz. It's not shared.
Oh, cool. Then Elizabeth I, yeah? Let me share my screen quickly. Yeah, here you go. Elizabeth, she looks like this. It looks like sisters, bro.
Yeah, they're cousins, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're cousins, man.
Yeah. We still haven't seen no black man yet. Anyway, go on.
Elizabeth I, Elizabeth of England, and Elizabeth Tudor. For use is Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth I, 7th September 1533 to 24th of March 1603, was Queen of England and Ireland from 17th November 1558 until her death on 24th of March 1603. Sometimes
remember, Beefy, remember,
Virgin Queen,
Gloriana.
1
second, Beefy. What I was gonna say is, remember, she said she's the Queen of England and Ireland.
Yes.
So she's got that position at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, it's sometimes called the Virgin Queen, Gloriana, or God Queen Bess. Elizabeth was the last of the 5 monarchs of the House of Tudor. Elizabeth was the daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, his second wife, who was executed 2.5 years after Elizabeth's birth. As marriage to Henry VIII was annulled and Elizabeth was declared illegitimate, her half-brother Edward IV ruled until his death in 1553, bequeathing the throne to Lady Jane Grey and ignoring the claims of his 2 half-sisters, Elizabeth, the Roman Catholic Mary, in spite of the statute law of the country. Edward was set aside and Mary became queen, disposing Lady Jane Grey. During Mary's reign, Elizabeth was imprisoned for nearly a year on suspicion of supporting Protestant rebels. You want to come in, Terry?
Yeah. Now let's go back further and go to King James' father.
King James' father. Let me find out his dad again. Wait. Go and talk while I find the info. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, because he was the king of Scotland at the time.
Yeah. father, Henry Stewart.
Yeah, Henry Stewart. Let's see who. What does is Henry Stewart black?
No. Here we go. Henry Stewart.
Okay, so read a bit. Let's read a bit about Henry Stewart.
Henry
Because right
Stewart,
now
Duke of
we've got
Albany.
one side. Hold on, one side. We've already got the white side already, the Tudor side. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now we're looking at the father's side because
Yeah.
now we're presuming he might be mixed race this time now. All right. So let's see what the father is about.
Bro, can you see that man looks gay in that picture, bro? Man looks wearing a dress and all sorts. That looks
The apple's not far from the tree.
Okay, Henry Stewart, Duke
Yeah.
of Albany,
Mhm.
7th December 1545 to 10th February 1567. Styled as Lord Darnley until 1566, was King Consort of Scotland from 1565 until his murder at Kirkfield in 1567. Many contemporary narratives describing his life and death refer to him as Lord Darnley, his title as heir apparent to the earldom of Lennox, and it is by this appellation that he is now generally known. He was the second but eldest surviving son of Matthew Stewart, 4th Earl of Lennox, and his wife, Lady Margaret Douglas. Darnley's paternal grandparents were Archibald Douglas, 6th Earl of Angus, and Margaret, daughter of Henry the Fifth, Henry the Sixth of England, and widow of James the Fourth of Scotland. It is a common belief that Darnley was born 7th December, but this is disputed. He was a first cousin and the second husband. He was a first cousin and the second husband of Mary, Queen of Scots, and the father of her son, James the First of Scotland. James the Fourth of Scotland, who succeeded Elizabeth the First of England as James the First.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of know what is your opinions on him right now?
He was. He's just part of the family, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He's a cousin and the husband of the Queen.
Does he have any lineage to do with black people?
No.
Okay. Now let's go to, as I said to you before, let's go back to Queen Elizabeth the First and the Virginia Company.
Let me bring it up. Let's have Virginia Company first.
Yeah.
Virginia Company.
Because it will bring you from the Virginia Company, it will bring you to the London Company. So go through the Virginia Company.
Mm. This is a bit long.
Elizabeth, who gave the charter for slavery?
What's that?
Who pretty much like gave the charter for slavery?
Yep. Because I would say someone that is in its perspective, understanding if they were black, why would they want to put their own people into slavery?
Yeah. I see where you're going with this, and all this is factual because this. Remember at school we taught about evidence and everything. So this is facts that he's not there in no. He can be black. You understand all?
Okay, here we go. See the screen, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
The Virginia Company refers collectively to the two joint companies chartered under James I on 10th of April 1606, with the goal of establishing settlements on the coast of America. The two companies are referred to as the Virginia Company of London, or the London Company, and the Virginia Company of Plymouth, or the Plymouth Company. They operated with identical charters, but with differing territories. The charters established an area of overlapping territory in America as a buffer zone, and the two companies were not permitted to establish colonies within 100 miles of each other. The Plymouth Company never fulfilled its charter, but its territory was claimed by England and became New England. You want to come in, Terry?
Go and start. Yeah. So now go to what the London Company was doing. Because remember, you got the London Company split into two. So when you go to London Company, it's split into two.
Yeah, here we go. You got here the London Company. By terms of the charter, the London Company was permitted to establish a colony of 100 miles squares, 100 square miles between 34th and 45th parallels. I'm suppose that's talking about the grid, isn't it? Like, I'll come back to that. Approximately between Cape Fear and Long Island Sound. It was also on the large portion of Atlantic Ocean and inland Canada. On 14th of May 1607, the London Company established Jamestown settlement about 40 miles inland along the James River, a major tributary for the Shakespeare I don't know how to Shakespeare, can it? Bay in present-day Virginia. In 1620, George Calvert asked King James I for a charter for English Catholics to add the territory to the Plymouth Company. Also in 1609, a much larger third supply mission was organized. A new purpose-built ship named the Sea Venture rushed into service without the customary sea trials. She became flagship with a fleet of 9 ships, with most of leaders of food supplies abroad. Notable persons aboard the Sea Venture included the Fleet Admiral George Somers, Vice Admiral Christopher Newport, a new governor of the Virginia colony, Sir Thomas Gates, future author William Starkey, and businessman John Rolfe and his pregnant wife. You want to come in, Terry?
Okay, now I want you to go to the Blackamoors, put Blackamoors and the British Archives. I can see it. So let's go type in, go back to Google.
Yeah, let me come a new tab. So I'll keep this here so I don't keep coming and come back. Is there Blackamoors?
Put Blackamoors, as in Black Moors, and then put British Archives.
Blackmoors.
Yeah. No, in between, put in between Black and Moors, put A. Yeah, double O. Yeah, go on. In the archives, in the British Archives. Yeah, see that one there? Go to that. Click on that. Queen Elizabeth I. Go up. Yeah, you see on the top.
Yeah.
Click on Black Presence home. Go to the home page. No, go up. Yeah, click on that.
Oh yeah, Black Presence.
Down. Where the picture is in the corner, in the left. Yeah, go. Yeah, click on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at 15 in the years of the Black Presence in 1500s to the 1850. Click on that. The introduction.
Okay. The people of African and Asian origin have lived in Britain for at least 2 millennia. They arrived here many hundred years before the massive forced migrations sparked by the slave trade and British colonialism of India. By the time the SSN's Windrush arrived in 1948, famously carrying the first post-war arrivals from the Caribbean Britain. Britain had firmly established a Black and Asian population. And let's just go down.
You could click on that picture. Click on that picture, the document. Because I want to give you an idea of what it was about. Read that.
Between 1678 and 1680, Jean Barbot, a French commercial agent, traded for gold along the Gold Coast, now Ghana, in West Africa. The drawing is taken from his journals held by the National Archives. He, in his journals, among a variety of observations on African life, Babo describes how gold is mined. Methods used include panning for gold dust and, as shown here, diving for nuggets in the local rivers. Integrally, and despite his having first-hand knowledge of the area, both Baba's report on gold mining and his drawing rely on material in other sources. The drawing, for example, almost entirely reproduces the one in an earlier work of Alfred Dapper, a Dutch scholar who had never even visited Africa. Let me just click on the picture so everyone can see it. Let me see it.
Open up that, yeah.
Can anyone see the picture?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now go back because I want to show you something where the map the map of where black people were in England. Click on it.
Where?
Click on go back to the homepage. Now go to early times. Is that early times?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's talking about Moors in Scotland.
Yeah. Okay. Africans have been present in Europe from classical times. In 2nd and 3rd centuries, Roman soldiers of African origin served in Britain. Some stayed after the missionary service ended. According to the historians Friar, Edwards, and Walvin, the 9th century Vikings fleets raided North Africa and Spain, captured black people, took them to Britain and Ireland. From the end of the 15th century, we begin to see more evidence of the presence of black Moors in account of the reign of King James IV of Scotland and later in Elizabethan England. King James IV, yeah, go on.
Go to the next one, King James.
King James IV of Scotland came to the throne in 1488. He was an able and visionary monarch whose administration united and maintained under the Scottish Highlands and Lowlands. He encouraged manufacturing and shipbuilding and created a navy. James IV was also renewed Scottish alliance with France, although in 1503 he took an English wife, Margaret Tudor, and daughter of Henry VIII of England. James was popular, fun-loving king with many interests. Many black Moors were present in his court. Some worked as servants or possibly slaves, but others seem to have been invited guests or musicians. We know that he quoted Margaret with his lute and chivalric recitals and took her hunting and playing sports.
Okay.
After the marriage, the king, Lord, I don't know, you want me to read this? Where do you want to go? Terry. Terry, you there? I can't see my.
I think his reception's gone, you know.
Yeah, probably dropped off, innit?
Yeah, you might have to just keep going, innit, man? I swear that what was that giving the background or the information?
Let me just go kind of reading for a sec. Let me just go back to my page.
Hey, Beefy, keep going.
Yeah, it said after the marriage to King Lord Treasure's account provide numerous entries to show how much he enjoyed lively entertainment, employing foreign minstrels from Italy and elsewhere. King James was generous to all kinds of people, including black Moors, as the following entries from the Treasurer's account demonstrates. To celebrate Shrove Tuesday in 1507, several Africans, including Tabrona drama and the choreographer, were present in Edinburgh. 12 dancers, including Italians, performed in specifically made black and white costumes, costing £13 and 2 shillings. Was the origin of Moorish dancing. Oh my days! So that's where they get the Moorish dancing from. Oh my days! Okay.
Yeah. Moorish dancing.
Yes. It's Moorish dancing, not more. Oh. Okay. In 1504 to 5, the Moorian drama was paid 28 shillings to allow his drum to be painted. We know the drum thing is an African thing, innit? We know that for sure. James bought a horse at a cost of £14, 4 shillings for his drummer, who accompanied him when he toured his northern domains. More men were also mentioned in the treasurer's accounts. It's unclear whether or not they were servants, since they were short in terms such as gowns of satin, ribbons, slippers, and gloves paid for by the king. Let's see. Let's say document. I've got some documents here I can bring up. This is the extract from the Lord High Treasurer's account, show that in 1505-06, a payment of 20 shillings was made to the Norris that brought the Moorish barn to see the king's command. The king must have known that this child asked to see it. The child may have been that of the Moor drummer. I won't say how it was, I can't say the word. The black drummer, they say, at the court. Treasury accounts also intimates accommodation for the wife of the drummer in his barn. This would suggest the drummer was living at the palace with his family. Accounts of the Lord Treasurer. Let me go into the thing. Let's go into that. I can't even read this English, rude boy. The day of February to Monsieur James Watson to the Barnes Expension in Sanctuary. I can't read that. Sorry, people. Jeez.
And it's proper small as well.
Yeah. We can't read that.
I can't even.
Let me do this mobile word. The black maiden who attended in. Actually, what I'm gonna do as well, I'm gonna drop the link for this in the chat. Let me get the link. Share. Where's the share thing? Come on. Yeah, what I do, I'm not gonna get the link for this. Okay, check it back. Come on. Where's the link? But can anyone see the?
Listen, while BT's trying to find the link, and there's an awkward silence.
Yeah.
I'd like to take this opportunity to big up the panel, big up the internet, big up everyone in the chat. And I actually have a question for Scattered Minds, and I've been holding this for like an hour.
What's good, brother?
Right, Scattered Minds, my brother. This is a question I'd like to put to you. Everyone else, but like specifically you, yeah? You know when we say Queen Elizabeth and Queen Victoria and King James and all this fuckery, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. What is it that makes these people, quote unquote, royal?
What makes them royal?
Yeah.
The divine rights of kings, obviously.
No. Yeah, but like.
I mean, King James wrote that book as well. So if you're going to believe the Bible, his version of the Bible, you got to believe that.
No, he didn't write it. He just sort of edited it to suit himself. I get that. But
they're all kings and queens by default, by lineage, by family.
No. But this is what I'm saying. What is it specifically that makes Queen Victoria or Queen Elizabeth, the chick that's in Green Park now? What is it specifically that makes her royal? Like, why is she royal?
Oh, we're going to just say what
that's a totally different topic.
No, it is. But what I'm saying is
totally different topic.
Like, I feel like if they're saying they're royal and we buy into it,
yeah,
then they're royal. But like, if you break it down,
there is a complex idea behind it, Ultra. I said to you Tuesday, like I'm gonna take this on the plug thing. Subscribe to Sky Mind Show and all that. Tuesday, I'll go live, and we'll go in deep on what makes a monarch and where their authority derives from. But a lot of the time, it's usually might means right. You know what I mean? The old power of conquest, that has a lot to do with it. But also, religious power.
Ultra.
Yeah.
Yo, Maku.
Yeah, I can give a small explanation still. You know what I'm saying?
Calm. Tell you quick.
You said what was the question again?
Like, what makes Queen Elizabeth and all the rest of these pussios royal?
Right now, their bloodline stems from what we were talking about a couple of days ago with these Alexandrians. You know what I'm saying? These Ptolemaic dynasty, because from these Ptolemies, it's gonna come Constantine. You understand? So Constantine is their oldest ancestor. But it makes sense that from that lineage is where they take their authority. Now, what gives them the authority, obviously, is not Mark Antony, but it was Cleopatra. You get what I'm saying? Hello?
All right, Maku, I'm not gonna lie to you, my brother. I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of that cut out.
No, I heard him.
Oh shit, it's me. My signal's trash, man. No, I hate. Do you know what it is, Maku? If I'm honest, no. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave it for now, right? But I'm gonna talk about on Scattered Mind. But I feel I heard what you said, but I still feel like no one's telling me why Constantine is quote unquote special or royal. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, brother. We can hear you, my brother.
Yeah. What you got to understand, take the royalty out of it and understand families.
Yeah. Guys, I'll be back in 2 minutes. I need to go do something. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Carry on talking, yeah? I'm back.
Yeah, sorry, brother. Go through.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is to you is that you got to understand families. And you got to understand whatever family is dominant is what they will make themselves crown. This is how the popes. This is how the pope themselves into situation. Because when you look at the popes, they injected families. So what family is dominant, and whoever's carrying the real dough, as in money, it gives them the authority to put in themselves as a king or queen or a pope.
Okay, all right.
Like for instance, if you look at the Medici family, the Medici family infiltrated themselves coming role because they were bankers that were then wealthy and then started to assume the royalties' positions.
Okay, that's it.
Meaning assuming and pushing out the other family and putting their family into this equation.
Yeah.
I heard what you said, brother, but you do have to forgive my ignorance, yeah? What I just heard you say was, I mean, I get the whole family thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, so are you basically saying, like, royalty is a myth? It's literally just...
It's a slight myth.
It is a myth.
100.
Yeah, 100.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, well, hang on a second.
It's not a myth, though. But so go ahead.
No, go to you, brother. Go.
It's a myth. It's not, like, for example, just say me and you are somewhere, and I come and I rob you now, yeah?
Yeah.
I take £10 from you. There's nothing to stop me from doing that, innit? However, when you add a king into the situation, who's a mutual arbitrator between us, now you've got something to stop us. Do you understand? So what would happen? I've got my tribe, and you've got your tribe, and we're beefing all the time. Eventually, we might decide to elect a mutual party to make a rule over it. Now, in order to make that stick, things will come about it. Political things, religious things. People will start saying, you know, I have this reason for being king, this reason. But really, at the heart of it, it was a way of organizing our society at one point in time.
So yeah, because if I take it back to the whole Constantine thing, essentially he's not royalty, but he was the don put in charge to manage certain affairs.
Yeah, because Constantine became emperor.
Yeah.
They put him in that position of being emperor.
So that means, but that's the thing. All right, so that means That means it's just a title then.
Yes.
Yes, label. Yeah.
And so that means it's all fuckery.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's nice, bro.
That's why they say the families
Right.
rule
So
the world.
why do we then refer to ourselves as kings and queens?
Because it's the concept behind the idea of what a king is. Do you know what I mean? In terms of being sovereign, in terms of having complete control or being or complete power over your own life and your own reality.
Okay, Ultra, look at it like this. How did King David in the Bible become king?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, brother. Let me be honest with you. I'm not the one for like scripture and
yeah, but you know we know the King David story.
Yeah. But the thing is, I know the story.
Giant,
yeah.
And he was anointed to becoming king because
because I'm not saying it's like for me that's all.
So.
Oh right, okay. Yeah, I hear that. So basically, hold on. So basically, let me get this straight. Yeah, it's all bollocks. Basically money talks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people's hearts and minds is a big part of it, though.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying in today's world, money talks.
Yeah,
back then there wasn't money to do that.
That's it.
So basically, what we're saying is, it's basically just a social construct.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's it. But it's because we feed into the narrative. We, by definition, are giving it the power.
Yes.
What you have to think about is why did people think into the narrative? What was the reason for that?
To be honest, I think that's the question for your show.
And cool, but
because if you look at Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, if it was back then, they will be kings. Because they had influence over the people.
That's right.
And they had influence over the people because
so they're no different.
Sorry, sister. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, so it's no difference. But obviously it's because it's to do with like power.
Yona, is that you in the thumbnail?
Why you got all extra like out there?
Sorry.
Please
No.
continue
Do you know what it is?
yeah?
Do you know what it is? I just got distracted. Like, I was like,
I don't know what.
whoa.
Men can't resist a chocolate Ghanaian sister. That's why.
Wait, do you know what it is? I'm not gonna lie. I just saw the thing pop up and I was like, yo.
I'm black.
Yo, Fiona, you're gonna have to change that thumbnail because I can't concentrate.
Oh my god. Allow me, please. Like, please go back to the topic.
Yeah, I can't concentrate. No. But seriously, like, I feel like so since it's a social construct, like we can just air. But if you do the break, I think I spoke to Brother Matthew the other day, and he's basically saying,
so
people
Ultra
own everything. Yeah.
So understanding. Well, I was gonna go in a bit more, but I'm gonna leave that for another time. Is understanding in its perspective that most people to able to achieve of defeating another tribe or another nation, you need a war. Wars need to be funded. So then they have to go and search for resources to able to fund the war veterans.
Like the Iron Bank.
Yeah. So that because that war by defeating is a form of power. So
but then who has the power then? Is it the warmongers or the banks that fund the wars?
It's actually the person that is at the head that wants the power. Because they have to write off and say, you know what, we're going into war. But where are they going to get the money from? They need to go to the bankers to fund in that. You know, like in Game of, is it Game of Thrones? Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and where they before they can go into war, they have to go and meet the bankers to get in the loans.
Banker brother. But that's always the case, but definitely, yeah.
So because they need that power to overwhelm someone else.
But then isn't that then by definition a power shift?
Yeah, That's the reason why certain nations will become the powerhouse, because when one gets weak, because it's only so much you can maintain it. It's very expensive to maintain.
Ultra, have you heard of like the? Sorry,
you go.
Have you heard of the phrase about old money and new money?
I have heard it, yes.
And do you know where that comes from?
I don't know where it comes from. No.
It comes from the script that Terry is describing, like in terms of like in the old days, you had the aristocrats and bloodlines and like money that goes back to old school, basically, really old families that have been around forever. And then in the modern era, like with the coming of feudalism and landowners and then property ownership and then capitalism, you got a lot of this more new money that has come through and has changed the system. So whereas before the king was completely independent and could tell people what to do, we saw kind of later on, like especially like with the strengthening of Parliament here in the UK, King more and more had to go to his lords, had to go to his commoners and ask them for permission to do stuff. So as money becomes become more of a tool for other people to use, the traditional powers of monarchy is no longer that powerful, and money takes over.
And that's where, as I said, not in a bad way, this is how we became a commodity. We was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Thank you.
No, we was in the right place at the wrong time.
No, I was in the wrong place. If we was in Australia, they wouldn't have got to us.
No, they got to Australia too. They got to Australia too, bro.
You know?
Right place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Wrong weaponry or political
items. If we was on a different planet, they wouldn't have bothered us.
I mean, I'm not sure, man. They're trying to get Mars now. You see how many times they keep dashing things at Mars, apparently.
Yeah, but understanding in the form, and once you understand when they're looking for something for resources to back in their wars, you understand that they could have gone straight to India through Europe, but they couldn't because of the times of the Moors. They would have got taxed.
Of course.
So the only way they could go was going from Portugal is going down, and that's the age of discovery. That's how they ended up in Guinea.
Yeah. So you know that the good ship Jesus, yeah, was that one of King James's ships?
No, that wasn't King James's ship.
No, that wasn't good King James's. But remember, you see, on the time of the age of discovery, you got to remember the first people that were making ships were the Portuguese that were making good ships to travel further.
Yeah, but the first white explorer to reach Africa, like Southern Africa, was a man called Vasco da Gama. This was way before Columbus.
Yeah, that was before Columbus. Because remember, Columbus was working with the Portuguese before he went to Spain. Remember, Columbus is Italian.
Yeah, that's right.
So when he got to, he first approached Spain. Spain blew him out because at the time they were still at war. Then he went with the Portuguese. He learned a lot of Portuguese, and so suddenly someone must have given him a map.
Let me see if I can.
At the time when the Spanish won the war, were fighting the war, then he realized when they beat the Moors at that time, he went back to celebrate. That's why if you go to the Victoria and Albert Museum, there is a brooch, which the English are very smart and articulate in how they play their game, is that they gave a brooch to the Spanish at the time to make them feel comfortable. And then when they did that is when Columbus went to Spain and gave the proposition.
Yeah.
And that's when they accepted. But you got to remember, Columbus's navigator was a Moor.
Yes. Let me just bring it up. Let me bring it up. Because whenever you type in like Christopher Columbus or anything like that, you always see a black guy with a turban on next to him. Most pictures. Let me see if I can find it.
Because you got to remember, the Moors must have known where they're going, because what do? Scattermind.
Yeah.
What do you lot do in the time of prayer?
Face east.
So face east. How would you able to find where east is?
Compass or
exactly.
Know where you are, innit?
Exactly. So they needed a compass.
Of course.
So if you've got a map and a compass, you're going to look. But the issue was they went in the wrong direction.
Mm.
But that don't make sense, though. That doesn't make sense. If you've got a map and a compass, how is it even possible or even feasible to go in the wrong direction?
Yo, you tried using a compass.
First of all, this is
easy, man.
First of all, this is what people don't know about a compass. There's only one point on a compass, north.
Yeah.
So they went the wrong way. That's why you got the Caribbean called the West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
Because they went west way, but they ended up. They thought they were heading towards India.
Yeah.
Dickheads. Imagine you jump on a flight. Yeah, all right, family. I'll be landing in Miami in a couple of minutes, and then the next thing you hear, okay, we've arrived in Bangkok.
Yeah. Christopher Columbus was an Italian explorer, navigator, colonist. And let me add that, yeah. Who completed 4 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean under the auspices of the Catholic monarchs of Spain.
Mm-hmm. And this is where I was saying is getting towards understanding King James and what was happening at the time. You have to kind of know.
We need Ezra and them, man, because that man ain't never had to back their thing about this King James character.
You know what? Leave them, because you know the reason being is they're so powered in what they believe in. Sometimes you just got to leave it alone. Yeah. Because no matter how you try to convince them, they're gonna find some way of trying to color something.
Mm. Right, listen, is King James the same cat that killed his mum?
No, his mum.
No, he's the same cat. He's the same cat that killed his boyfriend.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allow it.
His first boyfriend, he got, because his first boyfriend infiltrated him, so he killed him. He had to kill him.
Oh yeah.
But listen, what the trick is the reason why I'm doing all that is to explain what was going on at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding what was King James doing. And at the same time, remember, when you have the Protestants and the Catholics warring against each other, which was rife, but in the same position, you got to look at what was happening in the Church of England with the Puritans. There was a conflict between two councils within the Church of England of a form of a statement that was in the Bible. So, in that perspective, they are fighting against each other, but then King James had to create a council, because to get something commissioned, you have to have a council. So then what he did was he hired around 48 to 50 people to able to translate that book into English. And in that perspective, you've got to understand, how can I make 2 people agree and still be underneath me? Reason why, in the Church of England, who is the head?
The Queen.
Who is the head of the Church of England today?
Queen.
Okay, so King James established that to making himself the head of the church.
Mm-hmm.
So what did he do to make them 2 people in the council of the Church of England agree? He had to do something in the book to making them agree to it.
Remove it all or just pay them?
No, adjust things.
Okay, yeah, we know that, yeah.
Yeah. So then when you understand, in the Church of England and the traditions of the Bible, you understand a lot of people don't talk about it, is that most kings and queens that come after Henry VIII try to replicate and make the book into English. If you go and you Google up Queen Elizabeth I and her Bible, you see that it was not qualified because there was so much jargon going on. So now, in understanding that, we can go to a guy who was the most wanted guy on the planet because he converted it from the Latin to the English, who was called William Tyndale.
AKA William Shakespeare.
Huh?
That's the Geneva Bible.
Yeah. William Tyndale looked at something, what instigated, because he went to learn Latin, and he saw something where he saw in the Bible where it says churches, but in the Latin it meant congregation. So congregation meaning you don't have to go to a church to pray. You can pray anywhere. But the reasons why the monarchy wanted people to come to the church is because of control.
Ding, 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 ding.
And money.
Exactly. Controlling the mind. Understanding that oppression. The reason why they didn't put it in English at the time was that the priest works under the king, so the priest spits to them in English because majority of the English people could not read or write. They were illiterate.
Especially not Latin. And apparently, I'm just going to something up from Google. It says, according to the Gospel of Luke in the Elizabeth Bible, Elizabeth was the daughter of Aaron. She was the husband of Zachariah, who was righteous before God, walking in all commandments and obedience of the Lord, blameless. But tell us, your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you call him John. That was in the Queen Elizabeth Bible.
Yeah, understanding. Even in the time of the Henry VIII, he created he commissioned a whole heap of paintings to making himself look like King Solomon. What do we know of King Solomon? He had many
wives.
Exactly. And what did King Henry have?
Wives.
Many wives.
Many wives.
So basically, you're saying women are the problem.
Oh snap! How do you take it there?
So if we kill every woman on the planet, all our problems will be solved.
Nah. Pause.
Now, can you see what they're doing is making the kings and queens the oracle. If you needed to get to God in that procedure, you have to go through the king and queen.
Yeah, one second. Let me just big up the chat. Big up Castle of Nice Ears, dropping up some knowledge in the chats there. Big up Walter. Big up God of Jacob. Bullet. Big up Joel in the building. Joel, I think I need to give you a spanner because you are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll give the chat. And people as well. If you want to check out some info as well about Columbus, check out Henry John Clark. He has some brilliant info on this.
Yeah, all you have to do with John Henry Clark, go to YouTube and Google up the Great Walk.
Also, just a quick
John
thing.
Henry Clark, the Great Mighty Walk.
Yeah, John Henry Clark. He
Great Mighty Walk.
Farrakhan.
And he will break everything down from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. He did a video on Farrakhan as well. And it's for me that opened my eyes, man.
Yeah, and he did, and what's name published that? Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Now I can see why they fucked him up.
People need to understand nothing's not for nothing, you know. Everything has a, you get me? Nothing's not for nothing.
So once you understand and you see what's going on, and then all you have to do is understand who King James was by reading his book called The Demonology of King James. And it will give you the aspects. And then you can go through the archives and look at the commentaries of how they explained it. They had many issues with King James.
What is it called, Terry? The demonology.
Yeah, the Demonology of King James is a very expensive book but you might get some information. Because in parallel, I tell you this, some Muslims might not like it, but most of the Qurans that were put in English were some of his members from the council that converted it into English.
It's not a Quran if it's in English, but yeah, hey.
Yeah. So that's why the Muslims say stick to the Arabic version.
Division, multiplication, addition, subtraction.
But in insight, we got to understand where King James, because we're talking about King James today. And King James, you got to remember, he was an author. And he made fairy tale books.
He wrote books about magic.
So all you have to do is Google up the books that King James did. So you could actually understand the mindset of the person. It's not about the book. It's about the person writing the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at films like Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling's. When Harry Potter was locked in the room, that's what happened to her. It's the mindset you've got to understand. So when you see how he's moving and what he was doing, if he was black, would I even class him as being a black man? Boy, I have to think about that one.
Okay, I think we've wrapped this one up.
Uh-huh.
Unless there's any Hebrew Israelites that want to come and jump on.
Here we go.
Okay, let me just...
Big up man like TN Zulu in the building.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Zulu!
What's up, Ultra? What's up, Sky? What's up, everybody?
Zulu, I have a question for you. Do you read...
Beefly, allow me, man. To be honest with you, Beefly, the way how you dealt with things earlier, like, that was uncalled for, man. So,
let's just suggest it for you. It's cool.
A nasty taste in his mouth. I'm feeling it.
What's that?
I said Uncle Beefy, you dealt with our nephew too harshly, man.
No, you know what it is, yeah? I don't think so. You are free to feel that, yeah? But if someone's going to catch you up before you say two sentences, and when it's their time to talk, you keep quiet. To me, that's
bro, everyone cuts each other off from. It's not, no one does it on purpose, man. Like, you act like man took your food or something, like.
Tell me when you finish talking. I was saying, when you cut someone up, yeah, then when you turn to talk, you don't say nothing. That's rude. That's all I'm saying. And I'll stick with that all day long. I want you to know that sounds. Yeah. So now, Zula, it's a simple question. Do you read the King James Version Bible? It's a simple question, bro. If you don't answer, that's cool. I'm gonna force no one to do anything they don't want. Yeah.
Beefy, I'm an atheist. Have you got any questions for me?
I've got a question for the atheist.
Yeah, talk to me, brother.
Why don't you believe in yourself?
Because I'm going through a bit of a confidence issue at the moment. Yeah, I'm going through a lack of confidence at the moment because I'm still trying to shift the weight from the amount of food I ate over the Christmas. Shit!
And the thing as well, I don't know. The Hebrews, we're not attacking the Hebrews. We just bring out information we know. Yeah, if you've got contrary information, you're free to bring it out. We can discuss it.
Speak for yourself. I'm attacking them.
Okay.
And if you want to find out King James' body, if you want to actually go and dig up his grave, you have to go to the house in Westminster.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I'll give that a miss, actually. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I'm just one thing that people don't realize. Do you know what it takes to fucking dig a 6-foot hole in the ground with a fucking shovel, bro? Listen, your arms will be broken and dead by the time.
No, it depends where you're digging. If you're digging in clay, it will take you long. But if you're digging in mud, in soil, that's like 10 minutes, bro.
10 minutes to dig a 6-foot hole.
But remember, King James' body's not really buried.
Yeah,
it's in a tomb.
It's
Nah, I
embalmed,
tell you
isn't it?
what, even still, I'll give it a miss. Actually. Yeah. No. I'm on phone. Yeah, I'll give it a miss. Yeah.
But
Sorry,
yeah, they'll take your ancestors and put them in the British Museum.
Yeah, because they need to see us, man. They need to see us. You understand? They need to see us. They can tune up their pussy holes, but they need to see us. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
JB, we're not having a one-sided conversation. We were just discussing games. It's not one-sided. We're not trying to bring anything about the Bible. We're saying who is this character? Who created the Bible? That's what it is. There's no attack on no one's face. Just bring out history and talking history.
We're dealing with the outside of the book. We're not dealing with the content.
Look where I am, Beefy.
Well, what's up? New Cross.
I'm at work, man. I gotta go. Fuck, man.
What bus garage is that?
Camberwell.
Okay.
I gotta go, man. Oh, listen, if you can, stay away from central London. It's Chinese New Year and everything's fucked up.
I know. I'm going
nowhere. All right, Beefy.
Yeah?
Yeah, Beefy.
Yes, Terry.
Yeah, I'm quickly running to. I've got to quickly run to the Victoria and Albert Museum. If you're still on, I might pictures.
Yeah, I'll be on. We'll be on. We're going to be discussing things. I say we'll be on.
Well, you're on all day.
I'll be in the Victoria and Albert.
You on all day today? They're gonna ease up for 9 Ethers.
Yeah, I am. We're getting there.
What time's that?
I'm not even sure. She said she's gonna start like next hour, I think. She said.
All right, I'll be in the British Museum and then Victoria there. I'll jump on a bit later.
Oh yeah, I'll let you know. After that, if I was what I want to do as well later on, we'll discuss this yesterday. We're gonna like watch one debate at the park. Then we're gonna go into it ourselves.
All right, then cool. I'll see.
Yeah.
All right, cool, bro.
Big up, Terry.
Yeah.
Hey, going to park started
today? No, man.
Nice.
next week. Next week.
Yeah, it's actually black weather. Not doing. Why does it have to run every Sunday? Fucking pisses me off.
I can't do it. I'm telling you, every Sunday, like the whole week will be calm, then Sunday will come and it'll just start raining.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Second, yeah.
Man like Michael, what are you saying, my G?
Is he there?
Yeah, man, I'm there. I was just listening, man. It was good to little, man.
Yeah. JB, I'll put the link in. If you want to bring up that subject about what the queens and queens look like before, I think they were all white. But if you got any delay to say the contrary, feel free to come on and bring out the info. You know what I mean? I've got no qualms with that.
What's the topic? What were you saying?
No, you were saying that what were the kings and queens looking like before the Renaissance period? And what
the Renaissance period?
The Renaissance period was that's when the Moors came into town.
Of course. Yeah.
That's all it was. They try to make it look like it was a romantic period. It was when information came into Europe.
Yeah.
That's all it was. But they had kings and queens before that. They had Viking kings, Viking queens. So that's nothing. Even when they say Columbus was the first white man in the Americas, that's a fake story because there were Vikings who had gone to Americas before. And we know the Vikings were white. Unless someone can tell me something different. Yeah, so Zulu, you got a topic you want to bring up? I'm a fair guy. Oh, and I see Churok in the chats. Churok, I think I added you as well. Feel free to jump on. We can bring up your topic you wanted to bring up the other day. Let me just drop the link in the chat. Was you wanted to talk about the Hebrew connection thing? We can bring that up. We can try and get into that. Give me 1 sec. I'll drop the link in. Zulu, can you do me a favor? Can you drop the link in the chat, please? And I want to clarify, this channel, yeah, is for all black people. So if you're black, Hebrew, black Muslim, we don't care what you are. It's about information, bring out information, and just disseminate the information. I think the kids need to learn things through our eyes instead of the eyes of the oppressor. So,
Beefy, what are you?
Huh?
What are you? What's your religion? I never actually asked.
I have no religion. I'm African spiritualist.
Oh, like any particular, not like, so like Shona then, Shona.
I'm a Shona, yeah.
Okay. What are like the tenements of Shona, like for people who, if they want to learn or know, understand it?
I say the best way to learn. I think I always tell people this. Yeah, just do your research on the Bantu people.
Yeah.
And once you do the research on the Bantu people, that will cover a whole area of people, and you see that like you have in most religions, you have people who have their own school of thought, and it makes sense that in Africa, where it's such a random place, such a big place, in different areas, people live their life in a different way.
Yeah.
So, but they were the same the same beliefs like of the creator, but the way they manifest the beliefs is depending on their surroundings, nature around them. Because everything your creator manifest, where we see things, your creator manifests himself through nature.
Yeah.
So once you're one with nature, that's how you interact with your creator. That's why in the Bible, I always say as well, you have so many stories of God in the Bible, different versions, because it's only stories talking from different peoples around Africa, and then put into one book and say it's one people. And that's why the Bible for me is a confusing book. Just many stolen stories from different African people and try to be put into one book. I think that's what
like you've got some of that, like that, when it comes to African spiritualism, you have like a bit in common with Shakur then, and like his sort of, like obviously he doesn't specifically subscribe to one particular African spirituality. I think he is more general across the board of African spirituality and all its concepts.
Yeah, and as well, people don't understand the significance of the ancestors the play in African spirituality. Yeah, was in African spirituality we don't have prophets, we have ancestors, and for me, let me break down for me what do we say as an ancestor. An ancestor is the only person who has now met the creator. That's your link between you and your creator, and you are your ancestor. So when you see things that way, you know we are here for a purpose. It's just for you to find your purpose, to know yourself, and do what you'll be here to do. That's all it is. But knowing that the creator, you being part of something, and you being here for a purpose, just find yourself in doing your purpose. That's all it is.
Find your purpose and just do it.
Yeah, because we're all here for a reason. Otherwise, what's the point?
True.
So that's how we look at things. And there's a lot of us. I think the concept of even like good and evil is more in the Abrahamic faith and in African spirituality. Yeah, but we don't really have the concept of good and evil,
everything is balanced.
Heaven, hell, and everything. It's about you being your most high. Like they're saying, once you become your most high, you find God. So it is know thyself, know your most high. Once you know your most high, you know God. That's why I say we're all gods, and only when you find your higher self, then you manifest yourself in the best way possible, and the world will be a better place for everyone.
No, it makes sense completely.
Yeah. So all this thinking of why doesn't make sense for me that everyone should think the same and act the same. It don't make sense. Just don't make sense.
Different people, and we have all different. We all have different purposes, so it doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Itself, you understand, and that's the whole point of this system is trying to make everyone the same, be robots and sheep. So that's why balance. You got to understand that you're
a little bit there.
Pardon?
You cut out a little bit for me there. Sorry, if you don't mind repeating.
I said why there's imbalance because every way and don't understand that you have your own purpose, you have your own path, and some people are not even connected to themselves. You understand?
Yeah.
That's why they connect to everything outside of themselves, and that's why they're lost and don't have an identity. It's about African spirituality is about self, like understanding your connection to yourself through your ancestors and through nature. You understand that brings about balance. So all this good and evil and that's fusion, and this is the reason why there's no balance. That's what Africans.
And there's another way as well. If I'm living like in Africa, if I'm living in the savannah, and the way I live my life will totally be different from someone who lives in the desert. So I can only impose my way of life on someone who lives in the desert. That don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like someone, in the way a person in the desert can impose the way of life of someone who lives in the savannah. It makes no sense. Or if you live deep down in the rainforest, the way our ways of life will be totally different, and the way we interact with nature will be totally different. So our connection with the creator will be totally different.
Like, I'll give you an example. I was born here, but obviously I'm Ghanaian, and I would never ever used to be able to understand or speak the thing. But because I'm getting back to my natural self, it's like it's becoming very of the norm and easy for me to understand and even speak the language. You understand? So that's what I'm saying to you. It's all about you being authentic naturally to who you are, because that's why they say everything comes. I believe everything that's really of you comes naturally because it's within you. You understand? When you start searching for everything outside of you, that's when you have problems, and that's the whole point. This is why they make all these type of things to make people come away from themselves. Because the only reason why someone will be able to brainwash you is when you don't know yourself. When you do know yourself, it's very hard for you to be manipulated. It's very hard, and in this world, when you're like that, people automatically because of that fact. You understand?
No, definitely. Yeah.
So that's reality is all this other stuff is just, and what they don't even realize, half of these things are actually taken from African spirituality, and you get me, and then colonized like they did everything else, and they put out there Islam, Muslim, Seventh-day Adventist, Christian. You understand? Was it Roman Catholic, Baptist Church? So it's all remixed, but you understand? So, but everything has original source, and that's all it is. So all this stuff, and it's proven. Even the way some people come in here and they talk, it proves our point. They're like, that's not Daniil, but you're proving our point because the way you're speaking and your mindset and the things you're saying, and the fact that you're still pushing stereotypes and propaganda shows that obviously these things are of no good because it brings about confusion. You understand?
And another thing as well, I would really advise people who are like in the diaspora or even go and try find an African language and try and learn it, and then try and learn the customs of the people, and you'll see the difference in what we're talking about.
Exactly. By far.
Man, like Captain Rambo in the building.
Yo, yeah, big up Captain Rambo. It's been a minute since I heard from the captain. But yeah, I was just gonna say
yesterday though. He was about yesterday.
I said good to see, man. How you doing?
I know it's been a while. Big up.
I'm blessed. Gang. How is everyone?
Good. Let me read through some of these comments quickly. Turok, I sent the link for you if you want to jump on. Or anyone who wants to jump on, feel free. You know what I mean? For me, like I kept saying yesterday as well, like for me, it's not for me to tell you who you are. It's for you to tell me who you are.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. People are hell-bent on trying to tell. You can't tell someone who they are. It's for them to tell you who they are. This is why it's very about understanding of who you are spiritually within yourself, not this physical, because this is the problem. People are trying to paint people and tell people who they are. You can't do that. And that's why I have a problem. Because even in here, if I remember, granted, I've just come in here and I don't know you, I don't feel like you can tell me who Fiona is. Get me? Don't who I am. I don't know myself.
You speak a bit louder, sis.
I said, don't talk to me as if I don't know myself. You understand? And this is why people being in power, it's like they're trying to tell you who you are. And I'm like, you can't tell. I know Fiona. You understand? You can't tell me who I am. So it's very important for you to know who you are.
That's definitely true, sis. That's definitely true, sis. But sometimes some people do need to get reminded of who they are because they start thinking that there's somebody else or there's something else. Like
exactly that, but that comes with all this confusion. You understand? Because, like I said, people are too busy looking outwards and trying to attach themselves to outward things to get an identity. They don't actually know who they are, so it makes it very, very easy for people to put labels and this and stereotypes on you, and it are, like you said, they actually believe the hype. You understand? Those people, you have to make them know that no, that's not what it is. But the problem with that is there's no balance, because people be going around in response to the fact that your family and friends, which means like you're in a position to take advantage. But there's people that's around people, understand? But because they don't know the difference you, they'll be acting as if to say you don't know yourself. And you understand? Even this idea of family and stuff, that's also so contrary, you know, because they're so used to being around people. Like, basically, the reason why things are the way that people are actually operating of low vibration, so they know that they can. So when it comes to what they think, and then you're trying to tell them, no, I know like that, it's all an automatic problem. That's why it's all confusion. That's why you must know who you actually are. You understand? And this is why we need no betterment. We need to break the whole thing so people can actually now know to try and find themselves, understand themselves. For themselves, they don't actually know themselves. And your actions, your mindset, the way you carry yourself. You understand? So that's what I'm saying, and that's what spirituality. You must know who you are, and that's if I come in somewhere and then I don't know you, and even if you do know me, and you're no, you can't do that because I fully know who I am. You get me? I've sat down battle. You get me? Your battle should always be with yourself, not each other. You understand? Because that's the way you learn and grow. So I'm not hating. I don't hold no ego to anybody, or for any reason. So I don't need to be jealous about me and you understand? So I can't come and tell me who I am like that problem, because I fully had time to know who I am, and I understand that I'm growing you understand what I'm saying to you? So this is why all this stuff, you understand? People be like, you don't know if your ancestors, that you don't know about nobody named Jesus, you don't know about lots of things, but you still take it on. You still take it on board. You understand what I'm saying? So all this proves that it's just all low vibration and confusion.
Yeah, I think let's go to notification. Let me see. Is Sosa, do you know if if it's live now? They don't want to take a spot.
I don't think she's live. Yeah, she's just gone, I think. Yeah.
So Turok, what do we do? We want to carry on this convo about what you want to talk about. Sorry about this, brother. Yeah.
I definitely want to talk to Turok. Maybe come back again like after that even done.
After that means we'll come back and we'll have Turok and we'll break down what Turok wants to bring up.
Okay.
Turok, can you just bring us just give us an overview of what you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say, like, just the identity crisis. What we're going through at this point in time, and what does it hold for the future?
That's a good discussion.
Yeah,
that's a very good discussion.
Yeah, man.
Big up yourself, brother. Big up yourself.
Maybe even us lot could jump onto Nanita's channel even.
Yeah. So I'm telling everyone, please, everyone, we're all gonna go to 9IFA's channel. Everyone, let's all go there. Yeah, let's give us support. It's about black networking, all supporting each other.
That's it.
Yeah. So all show love each other. If no one loves us, no one is. If we don't love each other, no one else will love us.
That's it.
Yeah. So let's all go to the season 9 Ethos channel. Thank you all for coming in. We'll be back later on. We'll break down identity crisis. Yeah. And so yeah. So let's all go down to 9 Ethos channel.
Can you put the link? I don't. Or should I
Can someone drop the link in the chat?
Let me get the link ready. Sorry, guys. Let me try to do that quickly.
Yeah, can you drop the link in both chats, back chat and the front chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, best up, people. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll catch you off after the Rest in Peace show.
Big up everyone.
Yes, big up everyone.
There you go.